This is Carl from National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through your 2018 Kodiak Ultralight Model 201 QB. Alright, we're here on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. Okay, so you have a power tongue jack, or excuse me, we'll start with a power awning with LED light strip. Okay, let me look underneath here. You have a quick coupler for a propane. So it's an LP quick coupler that you can use for any low pressure gas appliance. You have a mount for a TV plus antenna out plus power. Alrighty, outside speakers. This is just a hookup for if you were to purchase a solar panel to charge the battery. This particular brand is a Furrion, but if you were to purchase one, it would hook up right there. Okay, you got a dump hose, you got a reducer to reduce your 30 amp down to a 15. Just keep in mind you can't run your 15 amp, you can't run your air conditioner off a 15 amp service. It'll eventually pop a circuit breaker. Alrighty, so you have a deep cycle marine battery, 2 tanks, a manual tongue jack. Alrighty, this is the vent for your range hood right here. So if you're going to use it, if you're going to use the vent fan, you'll free this up. There's baffle in here so it flaps freely. Hopefully you can see that. Otherwise you just keep it shut. But if you're going to vent, then you want to have that open so it flaps freely. Okay? This is the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there except for service, but this condensation drain line should always be hanging to the outside. Okay, so it drains to the outside. Alright, so you've got your 30 amp, 30 foot cord right here. Okay, you've got your city water connection. City water connection is the most common way to get the water to your trailer. Most campgrounds will have it. If you happen to go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can use your freshwater fill to fill your onboard freshwater tank right here. So you can just fill it up and use the onboard pump to pump your water, and it works just like you have city water. So you'll only use that if you don't have a city water hookup. This is just campground cable through to the inside of the trailer. This is a black tank flush. So let's get down here and see what we got. First of all, I'm going to open your valves because we water tested this and I don't know what exactly, if he's emptied it or what. Let's see. Okay, so he has, good. So, you'll hook your hose on here, you put the other end in the dump station, of course. Then you're going to dump the black tank first. This is the black tank valve. It's for toilet water and waste, so you'll dump that one. Then, after that's dumped, you'll come over here and you'll dump the gray water tank. Gray is sink and shower water. You do that second because it's cleaner water than the black water, that's all, and it will help clean out the hose. Okay? After you've done that, you'll keep this open. Keep the black tank open, and then you'll come over here to this flush here, and you can see the sticker says always have the black tank valve open before you turn the water on. So you'll put a hose right on your black tank flush, you'll turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of your black tank and clean off the sensors and just clean it out better. So you got a better, more clean tank. Let me see what we got here. These are the low points of your drain, just so you know, for your plumbing. It's used for winterizing and de-winterizing. Those are your low points. Alright, so let me just put this cap back on here and close your valve. Okay, this is your water heater right here. It's an Atwood water heater, which is now owned by Dometic, so it'll say Dometic, but it's an Atwood design. The switches to operate are inside the trailer, but one thing you have to know is this is where you drain it right here. So you always want to drain it there. Never operate the water heater either on gas or electric, whichever type you have, unless there's water in the tank. So you always want to make sure you have water in your tank before you turn it on. This housing is telling us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. If you get one, it has to be the Furrion brand camera that fits in that housing. So make sure you get the right one if you're going to get one. When you turn your running lights on, it activates the camera. Also, while looking up, you can see that, or I'll tell you that you have to inspect the roof of the trailer at least 3 times a season. So in the spring and in the fall and once in the middle of the summer, you go up there, have somebody else go up there, look around at all the sealant on the roof. Every place you see sealant, you'll look at it. There's you're looking for cracking or separation. You could go up there 10 times and not see anything, or the 3rd time you go up there, you could see something starting to pull away. You don't know because these are hand built or hand constructed anyway, and so you just always want to inspect it. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but that's why you inspect it, just to make sure that everything's good and tight. Okay. Somebody tracked mud all over your trailer already. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is your control panel here. So your awning is right here. Just going to push out, and you extend it. You basically extend it all the way out. It goes like 8 feet out, and then you'll be able to see the awning tube when it's all the way out. Never leave it out unattended, because if you're not at the campsite, wind can come up quick and damage it. So when you're not there, you roll it in. To light your water heater on electric is here. To light it on gas is here. Always make sure there's water in the tank. To turn on your pump is here. They got some lights there, your LED strip, and your levels. So fresh water is empty. Your battery is charged, although you always want to check your battery when you're not plugged in. You have 1 black tank in this one, so you just use number 1. Gray tank number 2, or gray tank number 1, I should say. So 1 of each. The other ones are for different applications. It fills in 1/3 increments. These LEDs will light up. So once you get past 2/3, you have to start thinking about dumping the gray tank and the black tank, okay? Well, we're looking this way. This is your antenna. The antenna does not go up and down anymore. They just rotate. So you can tune it in by rotating it like that, okay? Which is a good thing. Your radio, basically, let me pull that out of there. Basically, you can play CDs and DVDs. You can stream off this USB port here. Put all your favorite albums on one stick and take them with you. You can hook up wirelessly with Bluetooth, so you can stream from your tablet or your phone. You can stream video and audio. You have 2 speaker zones. Zone 1 is inside the trailer. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. So it does a lot. Everything you need for camping. And you can also hang a TV here. You can see, and there's your hookup. So you can shut that green light off, but you always want it on like that. That's the signal booster for the digital antenna. So when you're using the antenna, you always want that to be green. That's important, or you won't get a good picture. Okay, also you can pull the poles out of here, out of the bottom of the table, and set it on the cleats, the tabletop on the cleats, and use the cushions to fill in the space, and you got another bed. Alrighty. Let me look around here. All the lights, as you probably have seen already, have a button too, so you can turn them on individually. All right, so the microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood fan and light. Remember, I told you if you're using the fan, you want to open that baffle on the outside so it flaps freely. To operate your range top, I think the gas is turned on, but we'll find out. You just go to light and spark it. Actually, yeah, it is. So you spark it that way, and you can do each one. Obviously 3 knobs, 3 burners. The oven is a little different. This one you have to spark with a lighter. It's best to use a grill lighter because it's got a long neck on it. But you'll just go to pilot, you depress it, and hold it in. Then you come down to here at the very bottom, all the way to the back. You can see there's a pilot light back there. You'll spark that with your lighter, still holding this in. After it lights, you'll still hold it in for another 10 seconds or so after it's lit to heat it up. Then you go to whatever operating temperature you use. It cycles on and off like an oven does, but when you shut it off, you want to, when you shut it off, the flame will go out obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use it. All right. This is a carbon monoxide LP gas detector. Let me look around here first before I go any farther. I want to make sure. Actually, this is the propane detector, and you actually have a separate carbon monoxide there and a smoke detector there. Okay. So this should always be green. It'll detect a propane leak. If it ever goes off, you want to take everybody outside, shut the gas off at the front, open the windows, that sort of thing, and figure out what's going on. Alrighty, it should always be green like that. If not, you get it serviced. This device here is your power converter. So what this does, it converts 110 AC down to 12 volt DC. So you got 110 AC on this side, and you have regular household type circuit breakers, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You've got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see it through this tinted plastic here. Also, this is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll sense how much energy your battery needs and keep it charged all the time as long as you're plugged in. Obviously that is your furnace. There's a thermostat on the wall for your thermos and your AC. It's very simple. You just push the mode button once to light it up. Right now we're on cool, you can see, but you can go heat, off, fan, back to cool. Now there's a lag time. Every time if you were to select the air conditioner and turn it off, there's going to be a lag time. Maybe 5 seconds or so. So always expect to wait about 5 seconds before whichever device you're using turns on or off. Also, the fan is just nothing, it's the air conditioner running without the compressor. So the fan inside your air conditioner up here will run and circulate air, but the compressor will not be air conditioning. So that's what the fan is. Generally speaking, you're just going to run it on cool, which is regular air conditioning, all right? Okay, moving along. The sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Keep in mind that this GFCI in the bathroom here, all the plugs are wired through it. So if you're using a coffee pot outside and it pops, you're going to reset it in here. All right. The other thing to know is the toilet. The thing you have to remember is that you can't use it dry or without chemical in it. So when you get to the campground, you're going to plug in, you're going to hook up your water, that sort of thing. Then you'll come in here. If you're going to use the toilet on this trip, you will just put the chemical right in there. Then you'll step on the pedal. Water will come whooshing out, and it'll swirl in there, and you'll put about a gallon or so of water in there. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon is. You just use common sense, you know, that's about a gallon. The bottom line, like I said, is you have to have chemical in it and a little bit of water to start using it. So anytime you're starting with a dumped, empty black tank, and you're going to use it, you got to put chemical and water in it. Okay. Alrighty, let's see if I've forgotten anything here. You always use the fan with the shower also, because these are built really tight, these new trailers, so you want to pull the humidity out. You don't want to get mildew or mold inside, so you always vent it out. If you ever chose to, you could add a second powered vent here, like a Fantastic Fan or a Max Air. It'll fit right in there, and you can hook it to this power supply here. And you can even have better venting for all those days you don't need air conditioning. You can put a vent cover over it. So that's a cheaper, quieter way to cool on those days where you don't quite need an air conditioner, all right? That's just a thought. I'm big on the exhaust fans, especially the, like the Max Air has 4-speed and the Fantastic Fan has 3, so, okay. So anyways, this is your escape window. You're basically just going to push this through all the way and then grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and that way you can exit in an emergency. Or if there's a bill collector at the door, you can always do this. You just roll out the other side of the trailer. So it's a good thing. All right, let me look around here. I think I've covered everything, but I want to make sure. Oh, the refrigerator. Okay, this is a gas absorption. Excuse me, refrigerator. So it works on 110 AC or it works on LP gas. This is on and off, right? It says auto right now. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically looks for electricity and uses it. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. But electricity takes parameters over everything else. So it'll always look for AC electricity. If you leave the campsite, let's say, and you're running it on a regular AC power and you have a power outage at the campground, it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil the food. So it's a good thing. You can pull it down the road on gas just by going like this. If this check light comes on, it means it didn't light, it faulted. If that ever happens, you just turn it off and back on again, and it'll cycle through again and light the next time. But 9 times out of 10, you're just going to be on auto. Also, the last thing to know is that this thing here is a thermistor. This plastic clip that the wire goes into, that's just a plastic clip to hold it in place. You can pull it out of there, off of there. It's just a just something to hold it in place. The higher you go with the thermistor is the cylinder on the end of this wire. The higher you go, the cooler the refrigerator is. Generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way, as high as the wire will stretch. Okay? All right. Okay, well, thanks for purchasing your trailer at National RV Detroit. Give us a call if you have any issues. And remember, you have to inspect your roof at least 3 times a season, and you always have to bypass your water heater before you winterize to keep the antifreeze out of the water heater tank. So if you don't know that, you have to educate yourself a bit about that, okay? All right, thank you.